Alright, now that the Arduino is set up as an ISP, we're going to quickly take a look at the chips, make sure that we recognize the bent one that will fit in the little programmer piece here, so we can go bend this one up later. We'll just store that over there. This other one needs to be placed in this. And all this is just a basic little circuit broken down, so I can take out breakpoints, etc. For testing the ICs as well as program them. I'll leave a basic idea of how this is all set up more on the website, but it's essentially the red wires are carrying in positive. The chip is set up with a positive as well to the reset 5 volt. When you're programming, you're going to remove that as per the tape, right? Remove for programming, and on this one you will be connecting that to the Arduino pin 10 for your programming. So when we go to hook it up to the Arduino in a minute, we'll basically configure the board as per. I will also show a quick setup of programming without having a testing board more or less built alongside of it. Alright, now this one over here, this again, you could remove for the programming. Basically, if you are having a testing program running, these LEDs are going to start flashing as the thing programs. So to avoid any extra current draw for no reason off your computer's USBs, we're just going to block all that. As well, because this circuit's meant to run on 5 volts, it's probably better because I've actually blown some of these smaller pieces due to excess current. Now the last thing you basically have here is you got another one. This is the sound signal that's grounded out for now. We can remove that for programming as well. For the ones that we remove, we're just going to put in empty places in the breadboard. And for the ones that we have to connect to the Arduino, it's going to be very simple. You have the MOSI, the programming reset, everything's pretty self-explanatory. It's connected down here. If we look way down here, this side is going to be pin 5, pin 6, pin 7, pin 8. Over on this side you got pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, and pin 4. So your pin 5 and 6 are running up to your LED circuits. Your pin 7 is running up to a capacitor for the sound, which is grounded. Your pin 8 is taking in power and passing it as well to the reset, which is pin 1, sorry. Pin 2 right now is hooked up to a switch with a resistor tying the switch to the low and also tying the signal to low, at which point whenever you want you can press the switch button and it will send a positive signal into the chip. Release the button and the signal will go low. And the chip will then again see that, and that signal is to represent the C button. Let's see, the last part we have down here is, let's see, pin 3, as spoken about earlier, is going to remain empty due to the fact that we can leave it empty as well. We're going to lift that pin to help mount the MOSFET on the board, just to give it some more stability. And then last pin right here, which is the white wires, those are those are the grounds. And now the reason we have this extra little thing going on up here is I got basically one of the MOSFETs quickly connected in, as you can see. And you can see the gate is the blue wire. So the blue wire right now, if I put it, let's set this up. The blue wire right now would be tied to ground, meaning it's off. Okay. And then none of these are actually connected to anything right now. The last thing we're going to do is just tie the circuit in. And we can do that with this one going to the positive on the side of the Arduino. There's a positive 5 volts and a positive 3.3. Go with the 3.3 when testing the circuit, and you can go with the 5 volts when programming. For the next part, you're going to have the ground, which is already connected in there, ground, and that is just going to go to the negative rail on the left side, which is right over here. Sorry about the view. Okay. I believe that's it. So as you can see, yeah, it's slightly color organized, a little bit of labels. Makes a lot of sense if you understand the electronics. Give me 1 second here. We're going to quickly hook up the chip.